So, this is your host Steve from the back coming at you again. Uh, Raw, unscripted, and real as always. Sadly, whether, a lot of things I speak on are popular opinion, which they're probably not. So, I was thinking about this concept yesterday because, you see a lot of stuff in Hollywood, and, me growing up as a as a Christian, one of the funniest things I realized is excuse me for the hiccups, you guys. I just pretty much came home from work, showered, and I work like a second shift job, so I'm coming in when the sun will be going down soon, and then I'm leaving that job at nighttime, and that's really my consistent schedule, and it does suck. So like I was saying, as being raised as a Christian, you develop habits that are formed from your trauma of improper teaching, fear-mongering, prejudice, hatred, racism, bigotry, what do you call it? Bias. It's like you're raised a certain way, and you're told so many things from a young age that it attaches itself to your very psyche. To the point to where when you're an adult, there is I don't even know what to even call it, but there is something there that still tries hard to hold on to your psyche. And the thing that's so wrong about it all too is that it doesn't have it's not deserved to be there, that's only for certain people. Only certain people are actually really born and meant and will have true peace, or will be able to create uninhibited good things, so to say, being under the guidance of such a force that is so amalgamized, and that is really a man-made amalgamation of things, and it's incredibly deceptive. There's a lot of deception and a lot of nonsense thrown in with Christianity. So, when I was a child to teens to young adult, they used to teach me a lot of things, and it was all bullshit, but one of the things that sticks out in my mind is we used to have this deathly fear of demons, and we used to have this deathly fear of things that are supposedly of darkness, and I'll never forget, they would always teach you, in the church, they teach you, you're not supposed to fear this because this reason, so on and so forth, and so on and so, they're basically telling you, you're not supposed to be afraid of this. Then they're also telling you that, God is so great that he's supposed to protect you from this, that, and the other thing. Then they're also telling you that, you're supposed to also fear God, and really, to some people, it does seem logical. I'm not gonna say it's good, but I'm gonna say it seems logical. Because it doesn't sound too absurd. It makes sense. You're saying, okay, he's over everything, so you're not supposed to fear anything. And you're supposed to also fear him because this, and you're also supposed to reverence him and all this stuff. I'm the funny thing was, to make a long story short, obviously, having life experiences as a, more rational adult will teach you that there's no way that this shit could actually be real. This is bullshit. There's someone has made a big mistake somewhere in all this. And it teaches you, you're thinking, I'm supposed to fear you? Like, how am I supposed to fear a god that is so silent? You know, a god that would rather teach lessons in an annoying way. You know, a god that is super contradictory in a bunch of ways. Like, how does it only resonates with a certain type of people, is what I'm saying. And I'm not calling you guys slaves, and I'm not even going to be racist, self-racist about it, me being a black man. I'm not going to say that you guys are some dumbass Negroes, and say that it's because you have low IQs, or try to say it's because you're really slave-built in your mind, like you have a mind of a slave, so it's easy for you to gravitate towards things that are made to keep people in slavery and bondage. And I'm not gonna even say all of that, sorta, but what I'm gonna say is, you know, certain people, some of us have just a greater type of mind. Like, we have a literal greater. That's the only word, a greater type of mind. Just a mind that is greater, a mind that doesn't that is too questioning and too intellectual at its core, really, to ever be persuaded with a certain type of thing, you know. And I'm one of those people, you know. So you know, with that being said, I used to be, you know, younger growing up, and I will never forget this, you guys. You guys watching, I know some of you guys, you remember when the Hellraiser movies were out, right? You remember how... you remember the Hellraiser movie. You remember those movies. And you remember how terrifying... Like, you remember just the brutal... Like, these people did a good job of making such, like, brutal imagery, brutal... Like, they just made it so brutal and so crazy that... In your mind, if you would attribute what an actual demon was, or what a demon wanted, or what a demon's demeanors, wants, anything, you attribute it to that, because you're thinking, like, that has to be it. You know, it's like sheer torture, senseless brutality, you know, just like doing terrible, heinous things to people in such a way that you are petrified, like you are actually terrified to come across anything of a demonic nature, because you know, it's just Hollywood. It has no real basis in reality. You know, there's no real pinheads walking around. Demons are not like torturers of people. They don't have no interest in like doing medieval style supernatural style tortures to people. You know, just like this crazy, elaborate, fucking out of this world types of torture that just, you know, you'd beg to leave a reality. Like, no, it's not that in any capacity. That's all bullshit. It's all Hollywood. But see, a Christian would never know that. You know, a Christian could barely, they practically could never know that if they're, unless they were to have questioned what they were taught to such a degree. Then you have to think of the hell imagery that we were all brought up with. That is just retarded and false and has no real basis in any reality. Like, you got people falling into a pit, you know, in fire, then you got, like, butt-naked people being fucking, whipped by, and poked in the fucking ribs by these little horn demons with fucking all types of, what do they call, fuck, what's the word? Tridents and pitchforks and all this stupid shit. And you're thinking, like, well, are you fucking kidding me? Like, would hell, if there was a hell, it wouldn't have to be that elaborate, number one. Because your mind is so powerful that your mind can actually create a hellish realm all by itself, and torture you. It's like a dream that you can't get out of it, and can do all these things. Maybe some of you don't even know that your mind is capable of doing it, but it is, you know. And it would seem so real that you would actually believe it was real, and you would beg to leave, right? All that's your own mind, you know. It doesn't take any demonic force to have to use the effort to even create such a, like, mirage for you to be tortured by. You don't need, you know, fire and weird little monsters with fucking forks and all this. It's like, this is all man-made shit that we all made up, that stupid, weird fucking people made up to scare people, okay? And, you know, with that being said, you have to really look at the real the real truth of this, right? And it's a disgusting, ugly truth, but the ugly truth is this. One of the most, and that's why, you know, I put up the picture of, you know, the guy with the gun, because in the Hellraiser movie, this guy that, you know, he has a gun, he's pointing it at the Cenobite Pinhead statue, because the statue's talking or whatever, and he's I think he gets fucked up after that. Like, he really gets tortured and fucked up, and he's dead from the movie, or whatever happens to him. Maybe they made him into a Cenobite or something. But, you know, he's the classic fucking moron that points to... It's like, you get mad, you think something, you don't understand that you're actually evil. Because, see, the funny thing of the movie is when the Pinhead character tries to basically tell him that you're just as evil as I am, see, a small, little, tiny human brain does not get that. Doesn't get that. So he does the classic, pitiful thing, and he thinks he's gonna pull out his little gun, and now he's pointing it at the statue, like his whole world, his whole psyche's flipped. It's funny because it's a movie, but if you look at it allegorically, there's a lot of real truth to that. Like, you know, this is a theme and a thing that I talk about all the time on this channel, is how people get so arrogant that they think they're better than they are, they think they're more special than they are, they think they're more deserved, they think they're all these things, they think they're more civilized, they think they're all of these things, and they're not. You know, and it's that in that very moment. You know, he has his little gun, and now he ain't got nothing with that. And that's the funny thing too. The most pitiful thing about it is, like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that gun? Nothing. You're doing nothing with, like, you know, you got your little, and you're scared or shaking, and you got your little gun pointed at this thing that's so beyond you that, you know, it's like, you're fucked. Like, you might as well just give it up. You know, you got your gun out, you're shaky, you're trying to argue with this thing. You're scared, you're freaked out, and you're actually trying to argue. You're not even listening. You probably should just shut the fuck up and listen, but you're not listening. You know, you got your gun here, and I think he got really fucked up too. You know, he got all hooked and gripped, and he got fucked up, like what happens in those movies. But it's the concept of that he is this low life, dirty, disgusting fucking little man. And he's fucking with these powers and these things that are greater than him, but he has this arrogance, and he still refuses to admit, or truly or even understand, that he, being a sleazeball, and being a slimeball, in whatever he's doing with these women, like he's womanizing these women, you know, he's mistreating them, he's seducing them, he's promising them things, but he's not delivering. He doesn't get that as a human. It's just a different realm. Like, there's no, your evil is still is evil. You're still doing it's so you're not maybe just as bad as the Cenobite perhaps, but you're still evil. You know what I mean? You're not, but you're not gonna acknowledge it. You know what I mean? So, and you know, he paid a price like anyone's gonna pay a price. But I just thought it was a great example of like. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand, you guys, like, I'm not saying you should try to be a saint, but what I'm saying is, genuine goodness is genuine goodness, arrogance is actually arrogance, and evil is evil. But one of the biggest things about people is people do not acknowledge that. Many people just will not acknowledge that. They're very jaded. That's what the point I'm trying to make, is that people are fucking jaded, you know? They don't really understand a lot of things. And they don't understand how small they are. You know, it's like, yeah, you're great. People are great. But you are also at the same time very small. We all are. It's like we are great, but at the same time, we're small. Let it sink in, you know? But, you know, arrogance, a person that arrogant deserves what they get, in my opinion, number one. Number two, a person that arrogant is like the hardest person to try to even reach. They're not going to listen. And the best way to reach them is literally through extreme pain and extreme suffering. That's like the best way you can get to a person like that. It's a good way to get to anyone, but someone like that, it's like the quickest way that you can teach them anything. It's through pain and suffering. You know, on an extreme level, because they're stubborn. They're more stubborn than most people. So it's like there's layers and layers and layers of denial that you have to knock through until you finally get to something where they start to understand something. So, another thing I just wanted to rant about, which is a weird concept, and not counterproductive what I'm talking about, but it's like almost not the, it's almost the opposite of like, so you can take something and a person can get so outside of themselves that they no longer are connected to themselves as a human being, and I don't think that's actually a good thing necessarily, because if you totally forgot where you come from, or you totally forgot where you came from, or you totally completely can't relate to people around you, like completely, well then that can breed some arrogance in it. I'm not saying like a little bit of arrogance isn't good, because it is, but what I'm saying is you have to have balance. Like when you go overboard is not good. And the point I'm trying to make with this is I'm trying to say, like, think of like the Cenobite in itself. The Cenobite is kind of an example of that. Like the Cenobite forgot that it ever was human. You know, the Cenobite thinks that it was always this demonic thing. It thinks that it was always doing this, torturing people. It forgot, it's been through so much pain and torture and manipulation and all this stuff. And it's went through this change to where it definitely isn't human anymore, really, but it forgot that at one point it actually was, right? And it's an interesting concept, because it makes a lot of sense when you look at it in a way. Like, it's like, okay, it got so warped that now it has, or got so powerful that it forgot that it was a human at one point. So now it doesn't relate to people anymore. It knows how, like, the fears of a person, it knows how to use them against someone, but it doesn't relate to them, like at a deep level. Like the empathy is gone, pretty much. There's zero empathy at that point. No empathy at all, like, which is not good. There has to be some empathy there. You have to have a balance, you know. But they forgot, you know. That's the concept behind that. So the thing is, you can, and I'm gonna put some pictures up here, but you know. Like, you look at some of these pictures, and in my opinion, like, these are beautiful women, these are perfect women, these are gorgeous women, you know? These are real women. These are women that are not made of plastic, okay? These women are real women. They are not a plastic doll, you know, but they are gorgeous, you know? Now, as a man, this is one thing that we have to realize. Women don't want to admit this. Some men don't want to admit this. But look, someone said this, and it wasn't me who said it. It was someone else. But it's true. It holds completely true. The most valuable commodity in America is a woman's attractiveness. Let that sink in. Someone's gonna say, "What are you fucking talking?" Okay, let me repeat that. You don't understand. A woman's attractiveness, not a man's attractiveness. A woman's, because most people are not gay. Most people, you're straight. Most of us are straight. So we're not lumping people that so we'll say no, and we're not talking about women either, because the thing about women is women are not the ones that have the majority of the money, position, and power. It is us men that have that. I'm not saying that's a bad or good thing, but I'm saying that's the way it is. So look. A woman's attractiveness, I'll repeat it again, a woman's attractiveness is the highest commodity, is the highest valued thing, period. I would even say not in just America, I would say globally. I would say just in mankind, period. You wanna know why? Because men like women. Men want to fuck. I don't care if you are trying to marry the woman, you're not trying to marry her, I don't care if it's in anything in between. Unless you are a eunuch, a fucking have no hormones, have no sex drive, no reproductive organs, you're gay or some other thing, you fuck women and you love it and you wish that you almost wish that even if you had a wife, you could have a side bitch, a side piece. You wish that you could have that. That is a fantasy. It's my fantasy, and it's many of our fantasies. Not saying that we know that we at one point settle down, we know that we're not gonna ever really live that, but it is a sexual fantasy. Do not kid yourself or jade yourself to say any otherwise different. Now, if you're gay, then that's another story. If you are a asexual person, that's another story. But you are not the norm. You are a freak, and you are a weirdo. Someone's gonna say, you can't say that! I'm just playing. I don't mean to really call you a freak and a weirdo. I'm just joking. You're just not a freak and a weirdo, but you're not the norm. That's what you have to understand. If you're that person, you're not the norm. Us normal men, that is the highest commodity. I don't care how much money you can make, how much position you can get. When you want a woman, you are looking for the finest. You especially if you're paying or you have the money to pull like the top tier women, you are looking for the finest woman. That's point blank simple. So you can't tell me that that is not the highest commodity. I don't care how much you drink and party in a day. I don't care how much whatever hobbies you do. At the end of the night or whatever point in the day, at some point, you are trying to fuck some hot woman, right? Duh. I dropped my own mic. Boop, mic drop. You can't argue with me on that. So that's another thing I have to say, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing that up, I'm going to say the reason why I'm really bringing that up. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because now, if you were to flip that, and you notice that there are some people in huge, high positions, right? This is the thing. This has always been a thing. People that are in high positions of power and have wealth, almost to the extent that, I'm not going to say they're inhuman, but I'm going to say there is a part of them that is disconnected almost, if you will, from a normal man. You know, you get these guys that they're gay. It's like, I'm not going to mention any of these celebrities, but they're gay. You know what I mean? They're basically trying to pay off straight men to do sexual acts with them that are celebrities. You know, you're trying to pay off a straight man to do, like, gay as hell. So the thing is, it's not like it goes hand in hand, but what I'm saying is there are people that they get to such a level, and their sexuality actually helped them get to that level simply because they're not down here at the rest of us clobbering each other like cavemen over some woman. That's not on their list, guys. It's not on their bucket list. It's not part of them. It's not, so you know, it's just not, you know, so they accumulate wealth, they have certain habits, they have a certain type of demeanor, they have a certain type of how do I say this, nature to them. They have all these odd, it's just very odd. It just doesn't, it's not the norm. They're not normal, you know what I mean? And they get to a position to where they don't necessarily relate so well because they can't. They just can't. You can't relate to something. You can, I mean, to a degree, but it's hard to really relate to a certain thing when you're just totally outside of that. You know, when your desires, your emotions, your habits, your actions are so far off from something that you just can't really relate too well to it. And this is a thing. So I'm saying this all to really get to the point to say that us as men and women, actually, just humans in general, are very base. You're an animalistic, very base-natured being. You have a sex drive. It not that it rules you, but it's very powerful. It's one of your main driving factors. Like, you know, you literally would have completely alternative lifestyles if you did not have that drive. If you did not have that desire, you would make different decisions. You know, you would not go to the gym. You would be like, oh, I'm not going to because you're not trying to impress these bitches. If it's a girl too, she ain't going to the gym. She's not trying to pull these guys. You know, she's not trying to build that fucking gym body, badunkadunk and all this stuff. She's not trying to do all this sexy shit to draw these men because she doesn't give a fuck. You know, imagine if she didn't have a sex drive. She's just like, she doesn't think about that. She doesn't do certain things. She wouldn't, you know, there's certain things avenues she wouldn't even go down if it wasn't for her driving, animalistic, hot, heavy desire and drive. You know what I mean? That's the way that is. Now, maybe someday she'll get so goddamn old that, you know, that shit'll fizzle out. But the thing is, you guys gotta realize, us as human beings, and men especially, we are very based beings. We're not walking on our fucking tippy toes. We're not levitating off the ground. You know what I mean? Like we are still animals trying to compete for women. It's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. So, this is another problem I have with people. Is like the problem is that you're jaded. You fool yourself into thinking that you're not so different from things that you demonize. You know, and then also it's like you give praise in a way where it's inappropriate. It's like, what I mean by that is, like, for instance, you know, you see this movie and these guys typify themselves by the likeness to an animal. Like, it's like, you know, we're the wolf pack or we're the this clan and that, right? But then when you guys run into an actual dog, man, you have no respect for that thing. You guys have zero respect. You know, you run into a being that is actually somewhat animal, that is probably from a warrior race itself, could have similar core values to yourself, actually, but then you look at this being with no respect. It is not like you're looking like it is a man-to-man, face-to-face interaction. You're looking at like, this thing is a goddamn animal. The first thing you're about to do is pull your fucking guns out, and you guys want to, you know, kill this thing. This is what I mean about you have no respect. It's like you're arrogant as fuck. You have completely forgotten that you're supposed to have respect for things that are of a divine nature. You have no respect anymore. It's just like, this is terrible. It's terrible. It's horrible. This is something I talk about. It's fucking disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And at that point, you deserve whatever you get. Now, you're probably not... Now, I mean, you probably are not going to make it out alive anyway. But the thing is, it's... Because you may have a story, you probably won't make it out. You'll probably be a missing person. But the thing is, some of you have survived or have made it out or things like that. The thing is this, it's disgusting that you have this arrogance about you. That's the thing, you're so arrogant. You have that arrogance that you actually really have put yourself on a pedestal as a human being, and your religion only reinforces that. Your religion only reinforces, and you have to understand too, it goes deeper than that. This goes back to like people using religion, Christianity in particular, to control other people. Christianity using its fear to control people who are illiterate, people who are slaves, people who you want to enslave, people who you want to take advantage of in all types of ways. This is what this is about. This is a stain on the human race. This whole air of arrogance, manipulation, lies, control, it is a disgusting stain that is on humanity and has been on humanity for a long time. And it's just absolutely disgusting. But the thing is, for the most part, it goes unchecked and it goes unspoken of, and it's just swept under the rug and no one talks about it. And it's just, you know, you see movies, you laugh, you laugh at everything, you think everything's a goddamn joke. You know, ha ha hee hee, you're snickering all the time. But guess what, guys? Some people have to answer for their snickering, and they don't always make it out. And you don't always get a fucking Christmas miracle. And you don't always get divine intervention. And sometimes you don't make it. Think about that for a second. It's not always that you make it out, like, alive. Okay? So let that sink in. All I'm saying is, you know how they say every dog has his day? You know, it's like, at least think about it. Think that maybe you don't want to be that arrogant, you know, or you may be that guy who does not come back to tell a story about anything. That you may be missing, a missing person, and you're never found again. Now, someone will say, that sounds harsh. Motherfucker, it's reality. Just live with that. This is reality. You may deny it's reality, But you go your ass out to some of those areas, and you go off with that arrogant shit, and you run into the wrong things, people, or things, and see if your ass comes back. Because you're not coming back. I can guarantee you're not coming back. You are not coming back home. You will be a missing person. You will be a statistic. And it's not that hard to pull off either. And the thing is this, if a person can do it, think what another being or beings could do. If a person can do that, and it's not actually that hard either. Think about it. Okay? Let that shit sink in. Let it sink in. This is something I talk about on this channel, like the arrogance, the sheer arrogance that has been adopted in human culture by so many people is astounding. To me, it is absolutely astounding. It is absolutely astounding. The sheer arrogance, the sheer ignorance. And on this channel, I'm not about that bullshit. I'm not getting behind it. I'm not about it. Like, I like to have fun. I can joke around with people and I can have fun, but at my core, I am not about that bullshit. You know, that fucking arrogance and that fucking nonsense is exactly that. It is nonsense, and it is fucking arrogance, and it is disgusting. You know, it is absolutely fucking disgusting, and it rots me to my core to even think that that is a thing. But it is a thing. You know, and it has been a thing for a long time. So, you know, you guys need to understand that, I might break this up into like 2 parts, or 3 parts. You guys need to understand that, it's not a good look, it's not a good move, and I'm challenging you to come out of that. That's what I'm giving you the challenge to see, like, what are you on the inside? Like, can you actually challenge yourself to think so outside the box that you come outside of that arrogance? You know, that you actually look into yourself and think that, is it okay, this misinformation about these cryptids? Is it okay, this misinformation about the occult? Is it okay, this misinformation about Satanism itself and about the left-hand path? Is it so fucking really okay? Honestly. Is it really that okay? Like, it's one thing to have a healthy fear, because you should have a healthy fear of some people and things. You should have a healthy fear about that, because like I said, it is not that hard to take your little human ass out of there. It is not that hard for my little human ass to go missing. It really ain't that hard either. So, you already know that. You know that already. But the thing is, on a moral level, beside having a healthy fear of persons, people, and things that can make you go missing, on a moral level, you have to think like, is it really good for me to be morally this person? To be that ignorant and arrogant? Because I used to be like that at one point, but then I really realized what really was real, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not even trying to touch that. Like, I'm not even trying to walk into that type of arrogance. Because it's just retarded. It's retarded. And what'll make you mad is if you actually realize what history really is, the true history, and you realize how much, harm and how much evil that people actually did. And this was not cryptids, this was not inhuman beings, this was not other type of, this was human beings, this was us. If you realize all the shit that actually happened, all the dirt that was actually done, it would make you sick to your stomach. And you would look at people a certain way. You would put people under a microscope, and you would really look at them different. Like how I look at them. Like, you look at them like they're questionable. It's like you have to really question them. You know, you have to look at them and analyze them very closely, because you understand what really is going on. You realize what's always been going on. You realize what's going on, guys. And you wouldn't be so jaded. You know, you wouldn't have your head in the clouds and be fooled. You know, because a lot of people are fooled, and you don't want to be that person. I would not. I don't want to be that person. I don't want you to be that person either. You know, do yourself a good service. Give what I'm saying some actual thought. You know, just give it some thought, you guys. I mean, hell, even give it some thought of what I said about women being a woman's attractiveness is being the highest commodity. Period. Just period. It's the highest commodity, bro. Really think about it. Women, I don't mean to disrespect you if you're listening. I'm not trying to ever really do that. Just listen to the cold, hard facts. You know that most men on average control things. You know that men on average are more powerful physically than you are more willing and more adept to even cultivate themselves to be more powerful than you are, to take dangerous risks, to do dangerous jobs, to train dangerously, to put themselves in dangerous positions to where they have to train, to protect people. You know, and even, I hate to say it, even on the flip side, to assault people, you know, to do what's wrong. It's like we are the ones that come with the muscle. You already know that. We are coming with the muscle. That's the way it's always been. And because that is our position, and you're in the position of the submissive, and we're in the position of the dominant one, you have to realize that your attractiveness to us as males is the highest fucking, it's the highest priority. It's the highest commodity. It is what it is. You know? You look at it that way. The porn industry, the adult film industry, prostitution. It's all women. Not all, but you get what I'm saying, the overwhelming majority. It is women. This is men that actually have money, that are rich, dipping out on their wives, slipping out on their wives, cheating, to go visit your ass, to pay you to fuck them. Like, let it sink in. Let it sink in. I'm not demonizing you for what you're doing. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, because some women want to argue, they say, oh, that's not true. No, look here before you even open your mouth. If you don't think that your attractiveness as a female is not the highest commodity, you are astronomically missing like half of human history. You are not looking at what's going on. You do not see what's going on out here. You are jaded. Just as bad as these men and women that are so arrogant. You are jaded. You need to stop. You need to look in the mirror. You need to rethink everything. You need to realize that you are fucking jaded. So don't you argue with me about that. I have the utmost respect for women, but the thing is, I am not full of shit, and I am not about bullshit. I do not believe in nonsense. You are not going to tell me nonsense, and I'm going to believe it. That is not going to happen. You are not going to tell me nonsense you don't even believe yourself, and somehow you think I'm going to even blink to believe it. No, I'm not for taking on bullshit. That's the opposite of what I am. I'm not listening to it. Do not try to fool me, okay? This is what this is. You know what it is. I know what it is. We all know what the fuck this is. And we all know that as a woman in a weak position, in a submissive, in a compromising position, you are also going to leverage and use your leverage, which is your fucking pussy and your attractiveness. You are going to use that to your highest advantage. You are going to manipulate. You are going to be a survivor, not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's like us men, we fight. Women, they survive. You get how that works? It is what it is. That's the way that is. We already know. You already know. So, if you're all gonna get all feminist and get out of control with your goddamn self, then get the fuck off the video. If you're gonna get in your crazed mind, you're gonna try to be irrational and be a child, well then get the fuck off. This is not a child. This is for adults. It's not for children. So get the fuck off the video if you can't keep up, or if you can't take the truth. You guys know what this is. You guys know how based and unevolved all this shit is. So stop trying to pretend like you don't know. And stop trying to pretend like it isn't what it is. Just stop. You're making yourself look like a fool to even try. Like, why are you trying to deny things that you know is? You're in denial. You need to get out of denial. That's part of what these rants are about. It's about getting you to understand that you are actually actually in denial, some people. You actually are in denial. And you need to get the fuck out of it. Because it's not helping you. And it's not a fucking good look either. You look like a fucking fool. So, with that being said, you guys, take this hardcore pill. This isn't a red pill. This isn't a blue pill. This isn't a black pill. This isn't a green pill. This is the clear pill. I'm joking. It doesn't have color. Look, this is just what it is. This is just what it is, you guys. Just understand it and accept it. You know, and grow. And I don't know everything either. But I know what I do know. And I'm just telling you guys, like, understand what's really going on out here, you guys. Understand what this shit really is. Don't jade yourself. Be happy. Become the best self that you can. Get your money. Get what you rightfully deserve. Acquire the things you need in life. But don't fucking jade yourself and don't delude yourself with straight up fucking bullshit and nonsense. And if you're gonna be spiritual, then I'm giving you the real deal fucking spiritual. Cut the bullshit, understand what the bullshit is, and don't prescribe to it. You know, if you want to be fucking spiritual, don't fall into traps of just nonsense and bondage. Just don't do it. It's not good. And you don't want to be a part of that, I'm telling you. You don't want to be a part of something so sinister that it's so sinister that it's trying to tell you what is sinister, but it's not telling you that it is that's sinister. So, you know, there you go. There you go, you guys. I may just shut the fuck up and let you guys watch some gameplay, and that's it, or whatever, for the rest of this video, or rant. And, you know, I do these rants because I genuinely care. And the people that will actually listen is what these rants are made for. People that will actually listen. You know, people who are not so sold, so arrogant that they just can't listen to anything anymore. And they're literally gonna sit there and, like, just not listen, you know, to the shit that I'm saying. These rants are for people who can be reached, and I'm trying to reach, you know. People who are searching for something that maybe you can't even put your finger on it, but you all these things I'm saying, you've been, like, pondering on these things and wrestling with them, and I'm trying to draw those type of people in. I'm trying to bring those type of people together, because I just have a notion to, you know what I mean? I just have a, like, a thought to that it's a good idea to at least try. Not saying that I could fucking reach anybody. You know, not saying that, like, maybe everything I say to a bunch of people is gonna sound so absurd that no one will listen. Because that's just a chance I'm taking. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna sit there and just shut my fucking mouth. Because I'm not that person that's just gonna just sit there and tolerate half a damn anything. So, I don't tolerate a lot of things. I'm that type of person. So, I'm not gonna sit here and shut my fucking mouth. You know, so, plus, you know, I need to rant about something on YouTube because for me to grow my channel, I have to put out something. So, there you go, you know what I mean? So, this is your host, Steve from the back, coming at you again, raw and unscripted as always, and hope you guys learned something, hope you guys, it made you think, and, you know, have a good one. Until next time.
You lose. Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle. I'm waiting for you. Well, I got the prepare to strike. Now. Are you ready? Go! You win.
The mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA.
Are you ready? Go! Are you ready? Go! You lose. Welcome to the world of the Are you ready? Go! battle. Yeah, well, I got fighters ready. Engage. Into the heat of battle. Go for it. Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle. I got fighters ready. Engage. Prepare to strike. Now. Welcome to the throne of the street fighter dream. Prepare for battle. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. Well, I got this.